Hey friends, Sherry here. Today I will be sharing with you things that I made for the Paper Issues Fall Crop that was last week. I managed to get 11 of the challenges done. I think there were 21 challenges or something like that, some crazy amount, which of course I hoped to get them all done, but there was just no way. Luckily for me, unluckily, whichever way you look at it, I had a case of bronchitis, and so I was able to devote quite a bit of time to scrapping because I didn't feel like going out or anything. I couldn't even talk. So that's what I'll be sharing with you today. First up, I can't even remember what this challenge was for. Oh, I know, to use a handmade item on a card. And in the swag bags that you get from Paper Issues came this adorable felt little poop emoji. It just cracked me up. So I thought this was perfect for a card for someone that is having a tough time. You know, crap happens, as they say, and so I thought it would just be a fun little pick-me-up card. I took some of the washi tape that I had purchased from Paper Issues and wrapped it around and die cut out this little stitched, I'm not sure if that's, I think it's a Lawn Fawn stitched circle set, and adhered the little emoji and just grabbed some of my stamps and like, seriously, like, can you believe this is happening? And then it's just remember to smile, and stamped a few stars and put a few little sequins on it, and that's it. Fun little card. Okay, this layout was for a swag bag challenge. You could use one sheet of pattern paper, and then everything else had to come from a swag bag. And if you're asking what a swag bag is, it's a little glassine envelope that comes filled with fun little die cuts, project life cards, little embellishments, these little things that you see here. So what I did, I had used some of the swag bag items for other challenges, so I was a little bit limited in what I had left, but I loved these cards, so I obviously created a grid pattern out of the cards. Some of the extra cards, I dug out my old quick cuts and cut out a title. I actually used a glassine bag to back the photo with, and I took just little strips of all the different cards, and I really love the way that turned out. I put a little journaling card inside here, adhered a few of the things. This was just a piece of acetate that says happy, so I backed that and popped that up, and this was from Thanksgiving last year, and I really love how this turned out. So fun. This was for Jen's, I think it was Jen's. It was called the Big Ass Title Challenge, which made me laugh. And the funny thing is, this photo is several years old. I actually need to go back in my computer and figure out exactly what year it is so I can date it. But this was several of my nieces and nephews when maybe around Christmas time, they all had these sunglasses, and it just cracks me up because they obviously think they're so cool, have so much swag. So I thought it'd be funny to do a play off of the whole cousins be like. And then this was an Amy Tangerine cut apart sheet, and I just backed it with the black and put a couple of puffy stickers. Just fun. And to make this really pop out, I had cut the title out on my silhouette and backed it with that Amy Tangerine paper, and then I just took a black pen or a black waterproof pen and went inside those just to make those pop up a little bit more. But just fun. A little bit of washi tape, easy. And I really love the color combo on this. This is just fun. Now I'm happy I never scrapped that photo. I was just waiting for the right challenge. This was Scrap Your Pet Challenge. And I have a cat that I adore, and he is just the cutest little thing. And a few weeks ago, during the height of the fall foliage color explosion, I was out one day taking photos, and my cat has this personality that he has to be outside. Anytime I grab the camera, he runs out. It's just so funny. So I captured him just hanging out in the yard with me. I love this. There he sees. We have a vole or mole or something in our yard, and so he's constantly trying to find it. But this I just took from the Pink Paisley Cedar Lane collection. This is a 6x6 paper pad. I just took the paper pad, took the 2 sheets out and butted them up. And of course it has a hole there from where it hangs on the little pegs at the store. And so I just colored some wood veneer with some gelatos and just kept this really simple. Used some of the Cedar Lane clear sticker sheets that have just a little bit of gold. I loved this paper because it really matches the coloring of my cat. And so just a simple layout. This is my favorite thicker right now. I just love that shade of blue and it's just so pretty. So there we have it, pet challenge. Okay. Hashtag I Spy with Pie. That came off. Of course, thickers. This challenge was to use some a photo, and obviously I chose to use more than one photo from the I Spy with Pie or PI challenge, where we were to go out and capture the beauty of the season. And it was an Instagram thing where we actually tagged all these photos. So I just did a collage on PicMonkey of several of the photos that I took and wrote some of the hashtags that I had used to participate in. And I loved this paper. I think this is crepe paper from, I don't even know, a couple of years ago maybe. But I just thought the paper was the perfect match. So this came from the swag bag. These obviously are some old corrugated things that I had. This, I believe, came from a maybe My Mind's Eye or something, chipboard sheet. But I just thought, I was so happy that it had that cute little fox on it, because that's the Paper Issues logo, is the cute little fox. So some little washi tape, and the layout's complete. And I really love this challenge because it was so much fun documenting the beauty of the season. And a lot of times I would do that and just go, okay, yeah, I took those pictures. But it's obviously so fun to have them printed and documented and all these fun little memories on one little layout. Okay, this challenge was a negative space challenge. And on that day that I had taken a bunch of fall photos, these hydrangeas just are so pretty in all the different shades. So I took some of those, took some photos of those, made just a simple little collage on PicMonkey, and took some pink tissue paper and folded it down, and then I stitched across the tissue paper and used some washi tape. I actually have washi tape that says hydrangea on it. So then I pulled out these super old wooden frames and just did tiny little photos. And this is also some of the washi just cut. And I just adore this layout. You know, I'm a simple scrapper to begin with, but I just think the simplicity of this just really lets the photos shine, and a great way to document those photos. Okay, this was for an orange challenge, and I love orange. It's my happy color. I mean, I love aqua. That's my cool, calming, beautiful color, but orange just has so much energy and happiness to it. So I was all over this challenge. Excuse me. Several weeks ago, my daughter's middle school soccer team had a team building event out at this local corn maze, and my son, who's been helping with the team too, he went with us on that little excursion. And I remembered that several years ago I had taken them to this corn maze and had a picture of them in front of the big red barn. So I got another photo of them, and oh my goodness, when I looked back, I couldn't remember how many years it had been, but obviously it had been 7 years, and just to see the difference and how they've changed, and just so sweet. So I was loving having this side-by-side photo from several years apart. Okay, what I did, I got this orange and white paper, which I love, trimmed it down a little bit. I used a Heidi Swapp stencil. I tinted some whipped spackle, and scatter those hearts. And then I have a heart confetti punch that I use to punch out these little hearts. And these frames, I think these are Jen Hadfield frames that came from a Hip Kit Club. I just stacked the frames and added some detail. This one, the frame on the other side is the actual one that you're supposed to use, but the color didn't work, but I loved the scale of this, so I just flipped it over and used some LA Studio stamps to create my own frame. And then I don't know if you can see, I stamped and used some embossing powder. This is Happiness. But such a sweet layout. I love it, and love it so much. Okay, this was for a mood board challenge that had tons of aquas and golds. And I wanted to create something light and ethereal, but I just didn't have the pictures that worked for it. So when I was flipping through the pictures that I was wanting to scrap, this was from last year, my daughter and her friend, their first time to go to camp, overnight camp together. And the colors just happened to work out really well because the whole Camp Vesper Point with the gold and the aqua. And I've had this Studio Calico canoe paper waiting for a couple of years for these camp photos. So I just obviously, this is washi tape that I purchased from Paper Issues. I just love this, and I just did a wide strip and then a small strip of this golden white washi. And the mood board also had tissue, really delicate hearts. So I just cut some tissue hearts out by hand and just stacked them and stitched it and kind of layered. And this layout is nothing like I envisioned I would scrap camp pictures, but I have to say I actually love this. It's beautiful, and I have more paper, and I'm going to do a 2-page layout with this. But anyway, fun. Okay, this, to be honest, I can't remember what the challenge is on this. Maybe just to create a fall layout. Yes, a layout about fall. So I took strips of, I believe this is Cedar Lane Collection, I'm not sure. My daughter one day gathered some leaves and spelled out the word fall with all the colorful leaves, and so I got a picture of her. This was from another layout I did where I actually watercolored these leaves, and I just thought I wanted to make sure to capture the moment of her sitting in front of what she had created. So I just cut little strips, and I love subway tile look, so I thought it would be fun to use this paper in a subway pattern, and sprinkled a few of the leaves that I had made, and then just layered up some chipboard, and just a really sweet layout. And this little pink paisley thing says, "Do small things with great love from the heart." So love this moment captured. And I'm not sure why this is in there. I think that's an accident. Y'all have seen that. I did a process video on that. That is the layout I did with the watercolored leaves. And this one was a layout about Thanksgiving or something you're thankful for, I believe. So this was from Thanksgiving last year. You know, I'm rarely in the photos. I think I was in the middle of cooking, and I said, "Hey, Paige, take a picture of me real quick working in the kitchen." So she did, and I love the way it turned out. So I took these Jen Hadfield frames, which I just love, and decided that I would do a pink and cream color combo with this brown. I just love the way the when I selected this, I believe this is crepe paper. When I selected this paper, I knew this was the route that I was going to take with the layout. So I pulled out another sheet of dark wood grain, and oh, I know what this challenge was. It was to use die cuts, the free cut files from Paper Issues. Sorry about that. So these were some of the free cut files. This Polaroid frame that says homemade, and the Give Thanks in November. So I cut that out of some paper. This I obviously just used some of the Cedar Lane pink paisley paper. One fun detail that you can do on these little photos to give them some dimension. I didn't want to chop that off and not see that lovely spray of greenery. So I just cut into the photo and layered it on top, but cut around the tag and layered it on top. So I love how it gives a three-dimensional look to the layout. And these were little place cards that we did last year where we embossed Nuts About You, because it was just our family of four celebrating Thanksgiving together. And so I cut that out real small and just popped that up so we could have a reminder of that. But anyway, this actually is one of my new favorite layouts, and this is why I love challenges so much. I probably, this layout would have turned out nothing like this without the jumping point of, hey, use a die cut. So anyway, so fun. And last but not least, this was for Pinkfresh Studio. They offered, they were one of the sponsors of the crop, and they were offering, I can't remember specifically what we had to do for their challenge, but I'm obsessed with this Winter Wishes, I believe it's called, by Pinkfresh Studio. It's what I'm going to use for my December album this year. So I had several pieces of that. This is from the 6x6 paper pad. So my photo album is 8.5 by 11, which I know is kind of large compared to what most people do, but my thought is, you buy all this beautiful paper, I'm not going to cut it down to a tiny little thing and not actually see the paper. So this whole thing started, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I remember now. The challenge was to use a non-scrapbooking embellishment on your layout. So this little tag came off of this rabbit ornament. I was at Anthropology a couple of weeks ago, and I saw this rabbit ornament, and I took a picture of it and put it on Instagram, and I left the store that day without the rabbit. And it was so, I mean, I love rabbits. We've had rabbits. I've always loved rabbits. So I kept thinking about it and kept thinking about the ornament, and it was just kind of like, please come back and get me. So it was just so funny. I happened to call a friend one day and say, hey, what are you doing? She said, oh, I'm at Anthropology. I'm like, oh my gosh, please go get a rabbit and I will pay you back. And then I was like, make sure it looks like the rabbit's smiling. There were some that looked like they were smiling. So she, of course, picked out the perfect rabbit for me. But I just cut this little frame apart. I backed that with vellum just to give it some softness. I had some thickers in my Christmas stash and used some of the Pinkfresh Studio puffy stickers and some of the little details that came in. A little October afternoon sticker, letter sticker there. And this is some ribbon I had in my stash, and I just stitched some red thread on either side of it. And so this is my first layout for my December 2015 album, just documenting my new favorite ornament. So there you have it. I know that's a lot to take in, but I just want to encourage you, if you're in a creative slump, check out challenges. It's such a fun way to be inspired and to kind of force you outside of your typical style. All of these layouts, I don't know if I had just sat down and started creating, if they would have ended, I'm 90% sure they wouldn't have ended up like this. So I'm thrilled with the way they all turned out. And so my advice is to always participate in challenges, because you never know what kind of creation you're going to come up with. So that's it for me today. It's a gray day. We're going to get tons of rain today. I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week. Oh my goodness. It's just like coming down upon us so quickly. Tomorrow I should have a little haul video. I'm getting another little package today, and so I'll be checking back in with you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the section and I will respond. Thanks so much. Bye.